Hi everyone. So I wanted to talk briefly about my end of class transition, which I call my outro. And what I do is we have the exit ticket here. We usually grade the exit ticket in a way in which it's quick, it's easy, and then we actually have students self-assess. Their grade goes up here, and then we have what's called an exit ticket tracker that I use in my classroom, where they actually track their scores, and that's handed in at the end of the unit as a grade. But also it's a way for them to kind of like keep tabs on how they're doing, and like, hey, I didn't do so hot on 2.1, say I only got one or two right, and that gives them a way to like kind of self-review and kind of modify their own instruction. But at the end of the class, I usually do the same thing. And what we do at the end of class is I go to the objective, which is on my board, and I say, hey, like, did we get this objective? Did we actually master the objective? How do we feel about that? And they usually self-evaluate and self-rate. And the reason I do that, one, is because I want to actually include them in the class process. Like, this is something we do together, we learn together, and I want to include their feedback and, frankly, like, hear from what they have to say. Like, did the lesson make sense? Is everything, okay in their brains? That's kind of the thing that I'm focusing on. And frankly, it also provides like a nice way to just wrap up the lesson. To do this every day puts a nice bow on the lesson, saying like, hey, just like you come in, you have a do now, you get started. At the end of the day, when you leave, we check the objective, we check ourselves to say like, hey, did we actually learn something today? And I also think it's actually, to be frank, like reinforcing, because what happens with students is that they say, oh, you know what, I actually didn't know that when I came in 50 minutes ago, an hour ago, and now I do. And that's kind of cool. And so we do that at the end of every lesson to kind of, again, put a nice little bow on the lesson, but it also has some really good instructional rationale behind it as well.